What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix-land? This once again is Scott Porter, back for day 2 of our brand new HeroClix unboxing series based on the brand new Marvel HeroClix set, Avengers 60th. 60 years of the Avengers, all culminating in this one HeroClix set. Yesterday, we pulled a lot of older figures, some newer characters or variations of characters like Vision from the all-new, all-different Avengers, or Korvac in his new form as opposed to the old one that we're used to seeing. But we also saw Hellcat and Screaming Mimi, blasts from the past. I don't know what we are going to see in the rest of the set. We did see the return of these cool little inset cards, that extra cards that we're getting from WizKids and everyone, that's kind of breaking down the Avengers through the decades. So can't wait to collect those and see what their take is on what the Avengers are doing every decade. I'm not sure still if there's any specific run we should be looking at. I mean, of course, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, of course, Perez and Mark Waid, of course, all of the Jim Shooters of the world. Of course, all of those storylines hopefully will have a part in this set. But I was also wondering if we were going to see a bunch of the modern day stuff. The Multiversal Masters of Evil pretty much confirms a good amount of Jason Aaron's run. And on the outside of the box, we have, I think this is Brandy Selby, the Star Brand from the new one. That was Star Brand as a baby and then grew up. Of course, that's what they always do, you know, when you have a baby. The Star Brand that we're seeing on the outside of the box, it was given the Star Brand as a baby, and then it was shipped off to an alternate universe. And then when it came back a couple of days later, she was a teenager. She had aged in the alternate universe, but nobody had aged here, just to make sure that she was old enough to actually use her powers. But you found out that with her, every time she used her powers, she aged very rapidly. She ended up actually sacrificing herself to help reverse all of the damage that the Multiversal Masters of Evil had done. So I know we're going to see some of the modern day Avengers and Avengers Forever stuff coming out of Jason Aaron. But you also have the old school Beyonder from the original Secret Wars. So, you know, there's stuff from every decade, I guess. Now, remember I said yesterday that the set is set for pre-release to start happening sometime around May the 27th, with the actual set release happening June 7th. But remember, at the end of this week, May 5th, actually, in Huntsville, Alabama, we are doing a super duper pre-release for the Scott Porter vs. the World Sealed Tournament that is a part of our big HeroClix for Huntington's charity event weekend. If you want to take part in person, come down, play in the tournament with us, play against me and all the other big players that are going to be there this weekend. You can find out all the information on how to do so at HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. We also have virtual elements as well, online battle royals, an awesome online auction that's going to be taking place on this Friday, May 5th as well through the app Auxit. If you want any of that information, if you want to take part in the auction, in the tournaments, in the online battle royals, go to HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. and it will explain how you do that. Now, one of the things we're auctioning off in the auction is everything that I pull this week will be up for auction, and I will mail it to you on Monday, May 7th. So, just to let you know, if you're interested in what I'm pulling here today, you want to get it in your hands way, way, way early. If you're playing along at home, you can't come to the event weekend. You can still take part and still get some Avengers 60th by bidding right here on what I am pulling this week. I'll sign anything you want. If you want me to sign anything, just let me know. Okay, without further ado, let's get into what we're going to pull today. Let's open this booster first. Yeah, it's so tough with these sets because normally, you know, we've got one storyline that we're following, so we know what variations of characters we're going to get. But when you have a massive set like this, 60 years of trying to cover different things, you never know what you're going to get. And one of the things I was not expecting, but is on the outside of the box, is the Hydra 4. Now, if you're a big Avengers fan, but you don't remember the Hydra 4, don't worry about it, because they actually, if I remember correctly, didn't even appear in an Avengers book. The Avengers were involved, sure, but I believe it was a Spider-Man book. I think it was when Spider-Man was joining during the Bendis run, the Avengers of the Bendis run, the new Avengers run, I think, when Spider-Man and Mary Jane were moving in to Avengers Tower. If I remember correctly, I think that is what it was. The rest of the pieces that we've pulled today, a number of pieces that we pulled yesterday, actually. We've got Korvac. We've got the all-new, all-different Vision. We've got Bowman in the middle there. We've got... Oh, that says Spider-Man Robot. Wait a second. That's not what I expected to see. And then we've got Screaming Mimi. So we've seen 3 of these figures. I'm going to go ahead and pull them back, and we'll talk about them all a little bit. But I wanted to look at the special card for today, and that is the 1960s. The origin of the Avengers team centered around an epic clash with Loki, the master of evil. The original team consisted of Ant-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and the Wasp. You notice, for newer fans that don't know the history of the Avengers, Captain America was not actually part of the original Avengers team. Since their inception, the Avengers Collective has grown to include many more heroes, including Captain America, who did show up like in issue 3 or 4 or something, like very, very rapidly. On the back, you've got a QR code for a way to shop the HeroClix collection. That'll take you to WizKids.com, I believe. Okay, that's the insert that we had. We've already seen Screaming Mimi, Cormac, Vision. This Vision, I'm going to pop him on the spinner just for a second to take another look at this costume, because he definitely is really, really cool looking. I know we saw him yesterday. He's set number 15. But what made this Vision all new and all different was that he decided that the best way for him to actually help save Earth and not be a liability was to remove all of the emotion from himself. So he actually completely takes all of his memory files and deletes them all. So his love for the Scarlet Witch, his feelings for all of his teammates, he becomes this very unfeeling version of Vision, which actually doesn't serve him very well or serve the Avengers well either. I thought the Vision we might be getting was the Vision that was actually super cool from Avengers AI. If you read The Age of Ultron, on the other side of that, one of the coolest things I thought happened in Avengers AI was the Vision went to the sun and then put himself in a cocoon and thought of all of the infinite ways he could iterate on himself to become stronger, to become better equipped to battle something like Ultron that might come up and threaten humanity all over again. He becomes this really interesting version of himself, these super tiny little nano versions of Vision, and he's constantly just like putting his hands out and little pieces of himself are flying all over the place. That version of Vision was really, really cool. So the ability to kind of phase through walls and stuff is explained a little bit differently in that book. But this Vision is definitely a much different take on the character. Okay, I'm going to put Korvac over here. We've already seen him. Screaming Mimi, again, over here. We only got 2 other figures to look at, and I want to figure out what's going on with Spider-Man Robot here. Spider-Man Robot is set number 12. Council of Kangs, Future, Past, and Robot, of course. Okay. Trait, pull through time. Choose another friendly character within 8 squares that shares a keyword with Spider-Man Robot and place them adjacent to Spider-Man Robot. If the chosen character has the Council of Kangs keyword, remove an action token from them. So Kang confirmed in the set. On the back there, you'll see real name is Time Spinner. I believe that Time Spinner, I think that was a race actually of maybe robotic species. I can't remember exactly. You know, sometimes they stump me. Sometimes Time Spinner. Spider-Man Robot. Well, I wanted to put Spider-Man over here with the heroes, but that's not going to happen. We're going to have to put him over here with the villains. Okay. Last one out of this booster is Bowman. Bowman is part of the Hydra 4. Genetic clones, basically, of the Avengers that Hydra decided to put together. Set number 2, Hydra, Assassin, Martial Artist, Soldier, Hydra 4. When a friendly character with a Hydra team ability is KO'd, modify Bowman's damage by +1 until the end of your next turn. Has some improved targeting there, has some running shot, penetrating psychic blast. You can see the Hydra team ability on the back. And I can't remember if it was AIM or if it was Hydra actually specifically that made these guys. I think it is Hydra, the Hydra 4. The thing is that cracks me up about this is why I know mostly about these guys, or where I see them all the time, is in Lego Marvel 2, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. My son loves to play as Tactical Force, the green and yellow. His favorite color is green. So he loves to play as the green Iron Man, or Militant, the green Captain America, or the green Thor. And those 4 characters are actually in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, which like really kind of blows my mind because they are such a small part of a very specific storyline. What's interesting to me though is I think there's 5 or 6 vats where they have these genetic clones of Avengers. And the 4 that pop out are the 4 that we see on the side of the box. But there was a lot of speculation who the other 2 might be and when they might show up. What was it going to be? Black Widow? Was it going to be a Hulk? What was the other Hydra Avengers? What were they? But it's an idea that was just left to the sands of time. So I wouldn't mind somebody picking up that thread and bringing these characters back a little bit. Okay, there we go. Bowman. We have our first Hydra 4 member. Not expected to be in this set, but very cool nonetheless. If you were wondering where they're from, go read Spider-Man around the time of New Avengers forming, I believe. Yeah, there's a whole storyline, I think, where they move into Tony Stark's tower, and then the press starts acting like Mary Jane and Tony Stark are a thing, and Peter gets all moody about it. Anyway, all right, moving on. Oh, we have our first super rare. Awesome. Okay. We've seen Stinger. We have Ant-Man to go along with her. We have another Spider-Man robot. Just making sure that's not Spider-Man. Yeah, it's not Spider-Man. Oh, we have our first kind of Elder here. We've got the Grandmaster. Awesome. Grandmaster has been in a ton of Avengers storylines. We have the big man himself, Ultron. All right, here we go. Some villains in this one, man. And somebody who is hit or miss for me over time. I'm sure some people are big fans, but Super Adaptoid is going to be our super rare, our first super rare that we have pulled in this set so far. Let's take a good look at those guys before we put them on the spinners. Once again, Hyper RPG just stepping it up with the spinners, with the fancy lighting and the fancy intros. It's so good. We've seen Spider-Man Robot already, so we just put him to the side. Oh, let's see. Oh, man, we keep on getting lucky with these pull cards that we got here. This one is the 2000s. And we see Hulk on there. The 2000s. Tensions continue to rise into the next decade as the mighty Avengers put Iron Man at the center of a disagreement over superhuman registration acts and more. In 2008, the theatrical release of Iron Man marked the launch of the robust Marvel Cinematic Universe, which would soon go on to feature another premier Avenger, the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, we haven't even talked about really Civil War yet and what happens on the other side of a couple of those different storylines. I think that all new, all different vision comes on the other side of Civil War 2, I think, is when that storyline came out. So, all right, Ant-Man, Grandmaster, Ultron, Super Adaptoid. Who are we going to look at first? Let's go with Ant-Man. The only hero of the bunch. We've seen Cassie Lang in Stinger form. Ant-Man is set number 8. Has Avengers, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, Stark Industries, Animal, and Detective keywords. Elephant Hawk Moths. Friendly characters with tiny have flight. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Pin Particles. Empower. Free. Choose an adjacent friendly character that shares a keyword with Ant-Man. The chosen character has tiny until your next turn. I think Stinger might have done that same thing. I'm going to take a peek at her card just really quickly. Yeah. No, she grants energy shield deflection. He grants tiny and flight. So very, very cool. There you go. Scott Lang. Take a peek at the back of the card. He's got that new Avengers team ability, of course, to help attack rolls land. And yeah, Ant-Man number 4 there. That's part of that Zeb Wells Ant-Man run. Definitely worth taking a peek. It's a sillier, lighter kind of story, and that's needed kind of in Marvel sometimes because things can get real heavy real quick. All right, let's jump into the Grandmaster. He is tall, this guy. Very tall. Set number 23, Elders of the Universe, Cosmic. The odds are always in my favor. Once per turn, you may re-roll a roll made by a character within range and line of fire. That's any roll, once per turn. Adjacent opposing characters can't use probability control. Okay, I wish that was a little further than just adjacency, but still pretty good. Cosmic Energy, team ability there, 7 clicks long. You can play him at 90 or 40. We'll look at the back of the card. And that's it. There you go. Grandmaster. I don't know if I expected more. For an Elder of the Universe, Grandmaster doesn't always seem to be able to pull off the things that he wants to do. He's kind of one of the joke elders, I think, at this point. Collector is the same kind of way. Let's take a look at Ultron next. It looks great. It's like the Ultron drone, just with a cape on. You know, you can never tell the difference, right? Kind of like life model decoys for robots. Ultron has Masters of Evil, Robot, and Ruler. Set number 36, Army of Drones. Leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through a 6. When Ultron uses it and succeeds, you may instead generate an Ultron drone, which we saw on day 1. Special defense power, Invincible, Technological Mastermind. Invincible and Mastermind. Wow, they actually put the names of the powers in the in the power name. Invincible, Technological Mastermind gives you Invincible and Mastermind. Who would have thought? Look at the back. Masters of Evil. Of course, you're kind of wanting to run a swarm. I did ask. It's 120 or 75 points. So if you're running a basic 300-point game at 120, you can stick 6 drones on there with Ultron. So Ultron and 6 drones will get you a 300-point team, if my math is correct, because I think the Ultron drones were 30. Yeah, not too shabby. Ultron seeing his day in the sun once again. Last but not least, we have Super Adaptoid, who originally just started out as Adaptoid. I think became like Ultra Adaptoid at one point. The Adaptoid. This one is just Super Adaptoid. 47A. Ooh. Okay. First prime clue. Some version of the Super Adaptoid is going to be a prime, and I'm sure that one is going to be just nasty. We have the non-prime version. However, armor and robot keywords, trait, external threat analyzed, shape change. Super Adaptoid can use the effect of all equipment equipped to opposing characters within range and line of fire. Wow! Taking all of your equipment's powers and utilizing it for himself. That is awesome. Special attack power, hammer and hex bolts, okay? A little Thor and Scarlet Witch there. Energy explosion, force blast, quake. If Super Adaptoid is 150 points, when it uses energy explosion or quake, you may choose a targeted character. Opposing characters within 2 squares and line of fire of the chosen character become targets as well. Ooh, doing a little chain energy explosion or a little chained quake action, really reaching much further along the board. That's awesome. On the back, we have shield and density shift free. Choose one up until your next turn. If Super Adaptoid is 150 points, choose 2 instead. Energy, shield deflection, impervious, and super senses. Arrows and iron fists is a special damage power free. Choose 1 to use until your next turn. If Super Adaptoid is 150 points, choose 2 instead. Modify attack and damage by +1. Super Adaptoid deals penetrating damage. Or when Super Adaptoid attacks, opposing characters can't use shape change or super senses. There you go. The Adaptoid is the real name there. As a team player, as a team ability, and then you can look back at the front. So it comes in at 150 or 100 points. Pretty solid dial there. Lots of sidestep up front, but it doesn't really matter because of all the other things that Super Adaptoid is getting, especially at that 150 point line. There we have it. Our first super rare, Super Adaptoid. I've never been a huge fan of villains that just like do the thing you need them to do in the moment to move the plot along. Villains who are plot devices aren't always so interesting to me. The fact that Super Adaptoid sometimes is used as that is a real bummer, but in the right hand, Super Adaptoid can be a very, very cool character. All right, we're gonna do a play-at-home kit. Let's see. I'll just start on this side. Today we're gonna do the Hulk. All right, you can see this play-at-home kit here. Play-at-home kits celebrate the Avengers 60th anniversary with an exciting new play-at-home kit release. Play-at-home kits are a great way for players to get an awesome new character and map along with all new terrain markers to match the Avengers 60th anniversary set. Bring the legacy of both Avengers and HeroClix to your table with this new Hulk figure and General Thunderbolt Ross legacy card. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we're going to have a legacy card in the play-at-home kits. Okay, this is cool. So we're getting our first look at what we have in this particular play-at-home kit. Now, if you remember, last set they introduced the idea of terrain markers being a thing in the game now. Instead of object tokens, you can choose to bring terrain markers, and they all have their own unique and particular set of stats. This is awesome. Okay, so let me pull the Hulk out. We'll take a peek at him and the card first. Okay, pull Super Adaptoid off there and put the Hulk up. Man, they're putting more and more and more into these kits. That Hulk is a different sculpt than the Hulk that we have in the main set, which is really cool. I love that addition. This Hulk is set number 102. Has Avengers, Monster, Scientist. Hulk Splash has a trait. When Hulk makes a close attack, if he occupies the listed terrain after resolutions, he may use one corresponding effect as free. If he ends in hindering, Smoke Cloud. On elevated, Move. In water, Pulse Wave. That is awesome. On the back, you have a special damage power Hulk doesn't understand, but Hulk will do it. Passenger of 1, free. Make a close attack, but only to target characters that have been targeted by another friendly character with the Scientist keyword this turn. So the possibility of full movement and then a free attack, but only if you get a Scientist to pull off an attack. That seems somewhat situational, a little bit difficult to pull off, but I'm never going to sneeze at if we look at the front of his dial. 8 full movement and then an attack. Close attack. There you go. I like the Hulk Splash situation too. Getting a free Smoke Cloud or being able to move off of elevated terrain, say, and continue to move, because with the new hindering rules, anybody can move 1 square of elevation, but if they don't have any other way, whether it's flight or leap climb, to continue that move, they have to stop when they hit that next square of elevation, whereas the Hulk, if he ends up on elevated, can move directly off of it and move a good distance. I think that leap climb actually will kick in there. So there is the Hulk for you. Let's take a look at what else we might have in this set. I'm going to keep all this together. Man, we have lots of terrain. We have debris. We have a heart-shaped herb bush. I'm going to hold this stuff up here for you. We have a big elevated piece there in the middle. You see that? That's all elevated. And then we've got some blocking here. And we've got this piece of green terrain. This hindering terrain has a card that goes along with it. And I'll show you just a little up close here. Heart-shaped bush. You can see it has an effect there. So not only is this terrain stuff you can bring to change the terrain on the map, but it actually has an effect. Characters adjacent to or occupying this terrain have power, heal, 1 click. You could, of course, can destroy all this stuff, pick it up. You can move it around the map. You can put it down again. Very, very cool. We do have a map in here. We have Wakanda Outdoor on one side, and hopefully you'll be able to find images on this online soon. But I will open these maps up and just give you a little preview of what they look like. Now, these are the new size, you know, the 2x2 maps. You know, you've got the, might need to zoom out here. You've got the Wakanda Outdoor. And on the other side, you've got Avengers Tower Indoor. So there you go. Wow, yeah. So these are the new 2x2 size maps. You can still, at this point, play on 2-foot by 3-foot maps for the time being. I don't know how long that's going to go for. I don't have official confirmation. But the last thing that we have in this set is a legacy card. It's legacy card number 208. So we're getting some legacy card action right now. And this one is General Thunderbolt Ross. It has AIM, Hulkbusters, Thunderbolts, Brute, Monster, and Soldier keywords. Remember, it comes from the Incredible Hulk set that came out in 2011, and it's set number 208. On the front there, you can see the Red Hulk, free, once per game. Generate a Red Hulk bystander and place General Thunderbolt Ross on his card. This game, when the Red Hulk bystander is KO'd, KO General Thunderbolt Ross. Call in the Airstrike is a special attack power, and this is on the front. When the click is revealed by an opposing attack, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to the attacking character and all opposing characters adjacent to the attacker. Let's take a peek at the front again so you can get a good look at both of those powers, that special movement power and that special attack power. Now, we saw in the Dice and Tokens pack that we had a Red Hulk bystander, and it is, in fact, that Red Hulk bystander that is on the back of this. So we're using now the Dice and Tokens pack to key in to the legacy cards, which is really cool synergy, I think. So you've got the Red Hulk that you can pop out. So you get a legacy card, you get the Hulk and his card, you get terrain markers, including one that has an ability on it. You get a map with 2 sides, both in the new map and the map size. So there you go. There you have it. That is our Play at Home kit for today. And just wanted to show you everything that you get in the Play at Home kit. That is pretty rad. Remember, this set, Avengers 60th, is set for pre-release on May the 27th, with the actual set coming out sometime around June the 7th. But remember, if you want to play in the super duper pre-release down at Lucky Dice Cafe in Huntsville, Alabama, you can do so by joining us for our HeroClix for Huntington's charity event weekend happening this weekend. And don't forget, we also are auctioning off everything that I pull in this week's, and that includes all the Play at Home kits and the Dice and Tokens pack, and includes everything. That is one of the auction items that we have also happening this Friday, May 5th. You can find out all the information on how to take part virtually and in person at HeroClix4Huntingtons.com. That is the word for FOR, HeroClix4Huntingtons.com. And as a part of that event, WizKids has generously created 2 Scott Porter figures. Now, if you saw a live stream that I did for the HeroClix for Huntingtons event last, or a couple of weeks back, I suppose at this point, you might have seen us unveil a lot of really cool stuff. Things you can win in the auction, whether it's summer convention exclusives, whether it's bystander tokens that were created by the winners of some of last year's tournaments. We previewed a legacy card that somebody won at our event last year that is now coming to the Wheels of Vengeance and will be coming out a couple of months from now. We also showed off direct-to-consumer Scott Porter figures, one of which is a HeroClix for Huntingtons variant. It wears a black t-shirt that has the HeroClix for Huntingtons logo on it, and I think we're going to take a peek at it right now to show you guys, in case you missed that live stream, the Scott Porter HeroClix for Huntingtons variant. This is a direct-to-consumer figure that will be up for pre-sale this Thursday, May 4th. There is a limited quantity, but all of the proceeds from this figure will be going to the Huntington's Disease Society of America, and it will bolster the HeroClix for Huntington's event, and it will help us try and find a cure, and it will help support families that are dealing with Huntington's disease. Like I said, every cent above production cost for this entire run of this figure, which is priced at $20, will go to the HDSA and the charity. So take a peek there. at what this figure does. It's all about community. You've got comics knowledge and acting roles. You've got fight for a cure, counting on the community, and family is everything. All very important points for this HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend, where we try to raise money to defeat Huntington's disease. Again, if you would like to purchase that figure, it is going to be up for pre-sale starting on May the 4th. Remember, there is a limited number of them, so get yours as quick as you can so you don't get left behind. WizKids thinks that it will probably be shipping sometime around September the 1st and will be legal shortly thereafter. So hopefully in time for Memphis, this character or this figure will be legal. It's really cool to be a part of the game now, and I can't believe WizKids' generosity in helping us out with this incredible cause. Okay, that is going to do it for us today in this Avengers 60th HeroClix unboxing series. Can't wait to get my hands on some of this stuff. I hope you guys are excited as well. I know yesterday we said, what characters are you hoping for most in this set? Today, I want to know what character we've opened so far that you are most surprised to see. Tell me in the comments down below. Thank you again to WizKids for sending me this and allowing me to share this with you guys. Thank you to Hyper RPG Studios for allowing us to be here and shoot this stuff. We will be back tomorrow for day number 3 of the Avengers 60th HeroClix unboxing set. I'll see you then, and until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Peace.